I don't know if they're asking for more like documentation or things nowadays.
I think it
Yeah,
depends on the level. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't even want to give their names, you know, just for trying to be a non.
It's crypto. I guess that's one of the reasons that some of us are in it, I guess. But yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was gonna come sooner or later, though. So
Sure, without doubt.
But I actually did not. Hold on. I actually did not know this, but because I just got my account KYC, I can't even KYC in a global side. So for our exchange, you don't need an ID for level 1 KYC. You just need. Let me see what you need. You just need a country of so select your country, and then get a text message, and that's it. So just phone number verification and country. And I think we're gonna increase the withdrawal limit to 20,000 for KYC level 1. So for most people that shouldn't be an issue unless you're trading like millions of dollars. Then at that point, that's a little different.
I have a question for you, Jay. That limit, is it like a monthly renewal or is it like on account bound?
Daily.
Oh, daily. Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah. No, it's daily. And I actually didn't know this, to be honest, but it's country where you can just select your country of residence, select wherever you want, and then just put in your phone number. You don't even have to provide your name or anything like that. So for the people who want to be anon and don't want people to, the whole point of crypto, don't want people to store their information. I personally don't care, but I know people do care. So, with Bybit's KYC thing,
Excuse me, Jay, but Steve did a great joke. DKYCTW, don't know your customer that well. Just for the country and the text.
we don't. Hey, if you guys want to stay anonymous, we don't want to know. That's the whole point of crypto. That's your right.
Yeah, I mean, here in my country, you can get like a phone SIM for like nothing. It just costs me to charge it. So it's pretty much get one, fill the country in, and there you go. You can trade. So that's awesome. Good for Pionex. Hopefully for the best.
But again, if you try to onboard anonymous customers and whatnot, don't you eventually get a call from whatever, like from the IRS from certain countries asking you for like information, like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, we need some IDs or verification or things like that. Like, won't that event happen at some point in time?
So the global tax thing, I'm not sure. So for the US, you do have to KYC in the US, but the IRS actually doesn't ask stuff from us. We just in the US, so I can't speak for other countries. The IRS, I don't know if they're gonna change it in the future, but they don't ask anything from us. We don't report anything to the IRS. That's up to you guys.
Okay.
You should report your taxes. You should, but I'm just saying it's up to you guys. We're not doing anything to the IRS.
Well, that's good.
Currently. Yeah, so but for global, there's so many different countries. I don't think each country is like because a lot of countries don't even require like licensing. In the country that do require it, we probably have the licensing. I know we have like an internet, some type of global license, but then like for the countries that don't require licensing, then it's just like I don't think the IRS is gonna ask, or whatever IRS in that country is gonna come asking, But it's all moving so fast. Whatever happens in the future, we don't know yet. But at least our whole thing is kind of like to be regulated. Like in the U.S., from the first time we stepped into the country, like we kind of did the whole KYC whole thing for the U.S. Just because we don't want to get fined like. Probably Bybit or KuCoin got fined, and they're being forced to do the whole KYC thing anyways. But yeah, no, we're raising one of the issues for me was for KYC level 1, at least for global side, we get access to futures and stuff. It was just a withdrawal limit, but they're gonna up this, so that causes less of an issue.
Great. So,
Cool.
David, did you hit the record button?
I have indeed. I should be streaming. I've been streaming. Yep, we're streaming. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
Can see it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fred, you can see it
Sounds
on
good.
YouTube, can you?
Yeah, so, thank you guys for having me here. Thank you, David. Thanks, Vlad. If you guys were here last week, I'm the head trader here at Pionex. I just basically handle trading, some marketing, also some private wealth management, stuff like that. And of course, education as well. If you guys have any questions before we start about last week, or just like put it in the chat, I'm reading it right now. But if you guys don't, just like a quick recap. Let me see. Damn, when I share my screen, this is laggy.
There has been some questions, but it was like from some technical point of view.
Mm-hmm.
If, let's say, our strategy from the GPT marketplace, I don't think that the alert from our side does also paste the take profit and stop loss on the exchange Pionex. Is that right?
If it's in the code, let's say if it's a sell order, when it reaches a certain profit level, then it will be pasted. Then it will be basically be sold whenever it sends another alert, or that happens with a close condition hits. But if it's like let's say whenever you gain a trade, I want my stop loss. If it's not in the code, then it's not gonna be the order is not gonna be placed. But we are adding that. I don't know if they added it already. I haven't looked at it yet. But it's so if it's not in the code, it's not on there right now. But I think we added it, or we're gonna add it very soon. It's just you can set it's an option when you create the bot. So like, I want a 2% stop loss and a 5% take profit every time. So
Yep.
I don't think we have that right now, but it's gonna be there.
It wasn't available when I added the our strategy on there. So when it's available, I'll add it. It's just
2 weeks ago, right?
yeah, about 2 weeks ago. So I'll send a message again to your guys to see if it's available yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that was one of the first things we were pushing them to make.
Yeah,
And it should be relatively easy to do. So
yeah.
let me see. I will also ask to see if it's available.
Cool. Thanks. That'd be great. Yeah, it's just that we kind of like setting the stop losses and the take profits because some of TradingView signals have been missed in the past. So as a group, we tend to try and set them as orders in advance. So that'd be great if we could do that.
Yep, it sounds good. We can definitely do that. I understand it's just easier to have when you create a bot, if you already have a set amount of take profit or stop loss, it's just easier to, more solid to just leave it in there. Yeah. All right, cool. Someone just said in the chat, IRS got boosted 4x in terms of funding. Yeah, the RS, but according to what they're saying, the RS is only going after like people who make a lot of money. So like if you make under 100K or 200K even, I don't know if they're gonna like be focused on you, to be honest. But it depends on how much money you made or have at least. So basically last week, I remember I talked about this on Tuesday. Not much has changed in the market. I draw these lines last week. Basically on Tuesday, I talked about how 27K is a pretty strong level, and we could have a bounce into 30K or around 2950, and that's basically what we got. Of course, it was driven by some news, but I think technical analysis for me kind of goes hand in hand with the fundamentals. You kind of, in some type of way, predict the move that's going to happen. right? So you see 27K is the support, which we labeled last time. And then I said if we broke 27K, we're probably gonna go to 25. But if we don't, we're probably gonna get a bounce into 30, just because these are like the two key pivot areas where prices, you see the price consolidating here. Lots of price action, lots of people traded here. So there was a demand, right? So it basically price goes straight from one demand level into the other one. And everything in between is just very weak movements. So for example, here we got one big bar from 25K to basically 27K or 28K. So if we break that, there's probably not a lot of demand here. We're probably just gonna fall right through, right? And you guys can see it through the volume too. From the volume profile, this tiny little bit of volume here that was transacted just means it's not really strong enough support or demand zone. And let's see. So right now, honestly, like it's kind of nothing really has materialistically changed in the past week. We're just stuck in between 30K and 27K, and with all the banking news, I think you guys have known, with all the banking news, Bitcoin has been kind of like acting like gold as a hedge asset versus the equities market. So it has really like proven itself in the past week, right? So we can see equities market's been like dumping 3 days straight, and then even with the banking news, it kind of just like went sideways. And then we can see, if we can look at gold, we see gold is popping off ever since the news from First Republic Bank came out, and then of course yesterday we had another bank after hours say basically, oh, we're kind of screwed, we might sell, and then we get a big spike. And then Bitcoin, it looks a little bit messy, but it basically followed the same trend. For example, right here, after this is when Tuesday is when the First Republic news came out, and then Wednesday, we kind of went up, tested 30K, got this indecision candle, followed up, tested 30K again, got rejected, and then got rejected again. If we zoom in on the 1 4 hour, we can more clearly see that. Damn, my computer is laggy. Yeah, right here we basically tested this resistance or supply zone at 30K, right? Of course, very solid numbers are always very strong resistance levels. It's just psychologically for people, trading is mostly psychology, right? Psychology versus supply and demand. So when you guys see 30K or any whole numbers, usually that's a very solid level. As we can see here, prices tested 30K almost on the dot twice, almost 3 times. And then we established this double top or triple top, whatever you want to call it, and then we just dumped back to our 27K. And so honestly, from a technical point of view, it's very hard to make a play here because we're just stuck inside of this range. I definitely, if you want to go long, if you want to like do a swing trade going long, I definitely wouldn't enter here because the risk and reward is just not there. So my target for Bitcoin, if you guys weren't here last time, let me zoom out. It's around 36K. That's like the bottom of. Let me zoom out. Sorry if my computer's laggy. It feels laggy to me. Maybe I need to close some tabs next time. So 36K is basically the bottom, the last higher low before the bear market. So around this 36K level, we got some, we got some transactions, we got some action over here. So 36K would be my level that I am watching. And if you guys also see the later. I don't know why my computer's so laggy. I like quit some stuff. Hold on. All right, cool. So Decan Trader. So we can see that this is basically the amounts of, I don't think this is all the shorts gathered, but this is still a good data point. So this is basically the amount of shorts and the amount of leverage they're taking. And then we can see there's a lot of shorts from 31K to 30, almost all the way to 36K. So I'm assuming this is from the previous bear market that people were still short and holding onto their positions. And if we start moving towards 31, we break over 30, moving to 31, we can see shorts start getting liquidated as some are 10x short. And as we're moving into 32, we actually see just a lot of position from this 31 to 36K. So of course, from that point of view, if they get liquidated, we can see prices being pushed up to directly like 36K, maybe a little bit higher. And then there's not much traders to get liquidated. So in this type of market, I feel like one of the most important things is liquidity. So if shorts start getting if there's no shorts, I don't think we have enough buyers to push the price up. Just we have no new money in the system, like I said last week, or at least not that much. So with that, if you get liquidated, if most of the action is going to be shorts and longs that's over leveraged being liquidated, so we can see that we start going to 31K, we can start a liquidation cascade up, right? Liquidation up, and liquidating all the shorts and pushing prices up almost to this 36K level. And let's see chart. And so let's see how much. So let's say if you buy right now, right? If you buy right now, I would say it can go both ways, 36K. So we go to 36K. That is 20%, right? 20% upside. But we'll also go down to 25K. I would give it the same probability chance right now. If we go to 25 or 24K, that's also around 20%, like 16, 15, 16%. So if you buy right now, it's not really a good risk and reward. You're basically gambling 50-50. Might as well play blackjack. Quicker return for your money. So my bias is still to the downside, but unless it's 20, but right now, like I just wouldn't short right now. You could short into this 29K, but it could easily go to 30K and 31K. My plan is still the same as last week. If we break under 27K, I will go short, and target will be 25K with the bounce, and then ultimate target will be like 24K, 23K. And if we break over 31K, then I'll go long. Then I'll just go long with a risk of 30K, or even from anywhere from 30K to 29K, depending on how much space you want to give that trade. What is the possibility of Pionex adding higher leverage in the future? Leverage options on the same perp section rather than individual section for each. Leverage options on the same perp section.
That's one question that I also have, Jay. Why for the GPT market it's only 3x, I believe?
Oh, you mean the market?
I'm not sure what Aerox he's referring to, but I'm referring on the GPT market that our signal is. I think it's limited only to 3x.
So that's actually up to you. You can change. You can tell us what you want on there, and we can do whatever you want. So if you go to the GPT marketplace, if you tell us you want 10x, we can give you 10. We can put a 10x as an option.
I suppose freedom for the user, right? As
Yeah,
much as they want.
Yeah, exactly. So users are not allowed to choose it because we let the creator choose the amount of leverage you want to take because you know your strategy the best, right? So right now it's only 3x because you guys, or maybe you didn't choose it and we just put 1, 2, 3. But if you guys want 10x, like for your users, then we can do 10x. It's really up to you. It's not up to the users because like we don't like maybe the strategy wasn't meant to do 100x on, and then if you do 100x, then they just blow their account, and we don't want that obviously.
It's something that David has to do from his account, or do we have to contact the chat support?
You can just tell us.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, and then we'll do it for you. Let me see. There was another one also. I think there's one that's 10x again. Let me show you. I think it's this one.
One of the I don't know if it's really a conversation I have now, but one of the future features, if possible, would be able to set the leverage through the alert, because we have a dynamic leverage inside of our new strategies, and it's one of the most powerful features inside the DaviddTech strategies, which allows us to dynamically work out the best leverage according to the volatility in the market and things like that, and how far the risk is. Maybe in the future we could set the leverage with the indicator as such.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it dynamically changes the leverage per trade.
Absolutely, and it's one of the between that and the dynamic position, the working out the amount that trades should take from your portfolio are probably the two most powerful features of our trading strategies.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about that and then see if that is we can add
Possible,
that.
maybe, yeah.
That sounds
Cool.
pretty good. Yeah. And yeah, basically, if you guys see over here, there's for the leverage, you see this guy chose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 10. So you can basically have an option to do that here. It's just whatever you guys want us to put. And then I think Erox. So say on buyout, if I want to use leverage, I just go to derivatives market. Yeah, you go to derivatives market and I have access to all available leverage per asset. I have to go to the I want to use there's like a market. I have to switch tabs and change the leverage. Switch tabs to change the leverage. So let's say if I go on a different asset, what if I go to ETH? Oh, so you mean like you have to change the leverage each time for each different asset? Is that what you mean?
I think that's for users to pick. Maybe they would like to have set up by default, for example, 10x for Ethereum and 20x for Bitcoin. And in case the platform saves the favorite, let's say, leverage, that's okay as well for some users. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we do. I'm pretty sure we save it. So if you choose 50x, it's just gonna stay at 50x. But you have to do it per asset, which could be annoying. I don't know if that's what he's talking about, or it's just like 5x. If you select 5x, everything's 5x, and if you change a different asset, then it's like it sticks with 5x. But as I said, I want to use leverage. I have to go to the individual market, and then I want to. I think that's what he's talking about, right? You have to go to each individual market, and then select the leverage for that market instead of being 5x for everything. I assume that's what you are talking about. Let me know if I'm wrong. This is super laggy though, jeez. What is going on here? When I was looking at Pionex, I was checking out the fees and leverage option. I have to go to markets and then go to leverage on the left. Oh no, so that's actually the spot. That's actually the leverage coins. If you want to do the futures, just go to futures. So you're actually looking at something that's different. That's the leverage tokens. So it's like leverage built into the token. So you want to go to futures. And then if you go to futures, if you look at my screen, you have option to do cross collateral or isolated collateral, and then you can do 50x leverage or 1x leverage or 100x leverage. So what you're looking at is actually not the futures perps. It's actually the leverage coins. So don't use those. They're not that. They're not the same thing. They're just built in leverage into the coins. So yeah, so that's. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, no, that's yeah. So those are actually spot, just like leverage spot. Yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, I can see if you go to markets, you go to spot, you go to leverage. Yeah, just click on futures. Maybe we can rename it or something, the leverage tokens. But yeah, just click on futures. Futures are where all the all the perps are. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, going back to the chart from from a technical point of view, right now it's honestly just like a very narrative driven trade. I don't know how much you guys follow macro, but from a macro, hold on, let me go to this. From a macro point of view, yesterday we just had the FOMC meeting, and Powell was basically saying we might, in the United States, we might get a rate pause, and obviously, like, I don't know, a lot of the markets are focused on the United States because they're one of the largest financial markets. So after that, the market didn't know what to do. People were basically expecting a rate pause. And he also said the banks were strong, even though basically a lot of banks have been in crisis mode. But so you see Bitcoin action didn't like really do much. We try to break out before the meeting. Then this is 15-minute chart, by the way. Then we consolidated, and we basically didn't do anything for 2-3 hours, right? Just going sideways. We had a pre-meeting pump, and then we got rejected and came down, making a higher low. So the real action came when we actually got news. So around 6 o'clock or EST, my time, actually 5 o'clock. I want to say around 5 o'clock, 4:45. As you can see on this chart right here, this is 4:45. A bank came out to say, "Hey, we are considering selling ourselves because we cannot, fulfill. Our liquidity is not good, and we cannot fulfill all the deposits, or not the deposits, the withdrawals." And as you can see, Bitcoin ran up to 29K off that news. So that's a 3% run up. So that's pretty good, right? So honestly, these days the market is just very narrative driven. There's no clear direction on either side. The market is going down, banking crisis happening, but I feel like the big narrative when SVB bank collapsed, when Bitcoin had that crazy 38% move in 1 week, that was the first time it happened. People got excited. Bitcoin is a over leveraged hedge to obviously banking collapse. That's why Bitcoin was made. And now, as you guys can see, every time we have a bank fail, we do get a pretty nice move, but it's a very short move, right? 3%. And then the other time when, let's see, when the issue with First Republic came out, we got I think a 5 or 10% move. Let's see. So right here, if my computer wants to stop moving. Okay, cool. So that time we got we almost got a 10% move, right? This was when, so every time it's been this type of narrative for the past almost month, right? Every time a bank failure comes out or some kind of bad recessionary stuff happens, but mostly focused on the banks, right? We get this rapid rally off the narrative. So honestly, the easy trades right now are these narrative trades. If you catch some type of banking failure news come out, in the very early on, I would just pile into Bitcoin. Because that has been the narrative right now. If you can make a bot around it, even better, right? Catch any news of any American banks that's like, oh, I'm gonna go into a sale, or deposits outflow 50%, or the bank is down like 20-30%. Whatever happens, you can probably just mark it into Bitcoin and capture a pretty nice move. As we can see, that has happened a couple times in the past already. Catch it before it's not available anymore. And let's see. And right now, so basically not much has changed since last week. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, money have been flowing back into Bitcoin. People have been, rotating out of these altcoins again with the economy not doing so well. Of course, I think you guys were talking about, let me turn off my camera. Maybe that's what's making it lag. I think you guys were talking about Pepe, the Pepe coin, right? Going up like 10,000 or 10,000x or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Made some good profit on those ones.
Really? Yeah, that ran very hard. So, I don't see of course I wouldn't short it. It's crazy meme pump, but most, except for that coin, most of the other altcoins are not doing well at all. People are flowing back into Bitcoin, as you guys can see through Bitcoin dominance going up and Ethereum dominance also going up. I just don't see like these altcoins doing well, unless of course there's a certain narrative for like Pepe or whatever, right? Because such an illiquid coin. I just don't. I probably wouldn't get into any other altcoins unless Bitcoin is over 40K, 50K, just because, like I said last time, there's not really much new money in the market. And with basically U.S. going into recession, the whole world, basically a lot of European countries also going into recession. People aren't going to be, right? People are worried about food or like shelter. People are not going to be buying altcoins. Bitcoin has a special narrative, and Ethereum as well, right? Ethereum is deflationary. Bitcoin itself is a almost digital gold. It's a hedge to banking failures, inflation, and things like that. And so Bitcoin and Ethereum, well, I would say get most of the flows, and the altcoins, which most are inflationary, are people probably won't buy that until Bitcoin is just like overhyped and like at 50K and everyone starts chasing in. So that's like the narrative I'm seeing. And for altcoins as well, they are inflationary, so there's always like a constant selling pressure on the market, just from rewards for yield farming, rewards for staking and things like that. And just from that point of view, right, there's always going to be a consistent selling pressure on the market. And from the daily chart of Ethereum, let's take a look at Ethereum, right? Let me actually go to, after turning off my camera, this is so much better. I guess my computer can't handle it. So let's take a look at chart for Ethereum, right? So chart for Ethereum, it looks relatively good actually. It looks less volatile than Bitcoin. We didn't get a crazy retest, but also no crazy dump. And just looking at some of our typical indicators, MACD is curling up, and we are above the 9 and 21 moving average for the exponential, with the 50 moving average beneath it. So on the daily, it actually looks pretty good. If we don't, same thing with Bitcoin, if we don't break this 1,800, I could see a, just from the just straight technical indicator wise, just looking at it, we could see a retest of this 2,100. But aside from that, I still believe, we're in this type of indecision zone. I don't want to tell you guys either way, up or down, right? Because unless there's just not much to talk about, we're just in this type of chop. So there's no clear levels to break over our long or break down our short, because you guys see all these type of small wicks above 1,900. Usually I would say, okay, I will probably go long above 1,900, but just through these like tall wicks, you could just easily get a false breakout, and yeah, it's just a little bit risky if you are trying to trade that. But from all the indicator wise, everything looks good. The TTM squeeze looks good. It looks like it's about to turn up to the bullish side. MACD also looks good, as well as get a cleaner chart, as well as on Bitcoin. I really like when the MACD does this, like kind of like a curl up and then like a false. It doesn't really cross up, comes back down, and then gets a second cross up. I can't really say why I like it. It's just I've seen it a lot in the traditional equities market, and usually the second cross up will be a real kind of bullish signal, and it actually does finish the cross up versus before, where it gets kind of rejected. So just looking from that point of view, this chart looks a little. I'm more biased to the upside just from the technical indicators, but in general, right now, I just think it goes sideways between 30K and 27, 26K. And I think someone said gold looks like it has a nice ABC setup. ABC. Are you looking at this ABC right here? Let me see.
Johnny.
Oh, that's not ABC.
What are you trying to do?
An ABC.
ABC. Where's the ABC?
It's right there. It's like halfway down, right there.
Yeah, I see it. So I guess some very short term ABC. A pro, B, C current. Yeah. But what would your C target be for this? I personally I wouldn't know.
Johnny tends to
I
reversals. Yeah, sorry, Johnny, carry on. You're better than
I
me.
I personally, like, if you really, I know some people have tried to use like fib extension targets. I personally don't try to be too predictive exactly of where price can go. I basically just allow price to run and gives me an opportunity to go ahead and actually take profits if the position shows me that, hey, we're more likely to continue off of a continuation setup. I can go on a whole tangent about that, but I've had some people told me that if you use a fib extension tool, if you pull from the 0 to the A to the B, that's like generally no, that's the retracement. You want the extension. That one, second one, yeah.
So
If you pull from the bottom of the if you pull from the bottom of the trend to the A and then to the B, click that and then pull down. Usually it's about the 1-to-1. It can go all the way up to the 1.618, but usually the 1-to-1 is like the target zone for that if you want to kind of use that kind of trend based.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
1-to-1, yeah.
It's usually a pocket area. But it can go all the way up to the 1.618. I've seen that happen before too. So it's kind of like a pocket area. It's not an exact level.
Yeah, okay, that's very cool. Yeah, so I mean to the 1 I could definitely see for gold, at least 2,150. I could see that, right? Have some more, bad banking news, maybe some stuff like that. I could definitely see that. The SPY 500 is coming down a little bit lower, and then gold, of course, being a hedge to that, moving up. And then we can also see, of course, after the meeting yesterday, we see rates coming down. The 2-year rates just basically dying, because Fed didn't say they were going to pause, but they took out language from their statement that they're going to keep on rising. And of course, with the press conference, they were basically a hawkish pause. They were talking about, hey, we're gonna add. We're gonna re-add rates if it's necessary, but if we don't, they're gonna be data dependent. So we can see rates coming down, which is bad, which is good for bonds. Bonds going up, and then bad for the U.S. dollar. Let me see where the U.S. dollar is. Bad for the. Oh, there it is. And bad for the U.S. dollar. So for me, for gold and Bitcoin and dollar, everything's pretty connected, right? The dollar has tested this 100 level like 3 times already. We could get a little bounce up, but if we break this 100 level, I'm seeing like a slow bleed down to like 97. And of course, this is positive for gold and Bitcoin because the dollar and gold and Bitcoin are inversely correlated, pretty heavily. So this is something I would also see. If I see this break 100, I would probably expect Bitcoin to have that rally up to 3,600. But in the short term, maybe we get a bounce actually in the dollar, and then we have just like a tight consolidation. I want to retrace to 2,500. That's definitely where I'm looking to get in. But maybe we don't get that, and we just consolidate, and then we break out at 31, and that's also somewhere I would also get in. Let's see. And let me just look at some on-chain stuff. I actually have not looked at it too much this week. So stable coin circulating supply has actually been pretty much downtrending, and that is, you know, not very positive for Bitcoin price. People are just taking money out of stable coins and you know, back into whatever currency, right? US dollars or whatever their native currency are. So this is definitely a headwind for Bitcoin prices. We want to see this turn up and more stable coins come into the ecosystem. And so whale wallets, right? Whales with balances above 10K still decreasing, maybe a little bit, just a tiny increase here, but not much to look at. So still overall just going sideways and not much accumulation. So this is a net unrealized profit loss for Bitcoin holders. Basically, when you go into the green zone, it's a top. If you guys look in the past, right? Green equals top, green equals top, green equals top. Right now we're in the yellow, so we're still sideways. So not really much signal here to look at. Let's see. Ooh. Long-term holder position change. So we actually do see long-term holder positions start increasing, because right now it's just about the time that it's right after the FTX collapse, and you know, a lot of people got in and started just buying Bitcoin there. And around this month, they all basically started turning into long-term holders because they have been holding for over 5 months or 155 days. So we can see that long-term holders have been increasing, which is a positive sign because they are not selling. Yep. Coward Badger. No problem. Good luck. Have fun. And open interest. So open interest in US dollars. So this is just open interest for futures contracts. We've been relatively steady here. We had a big decrease. We had a big drop on the drop to 27K, but now we've been basically back steady. I still think leveraging the market is still relatively high as compared to basically December, right? November flushed out a lot of highly leveraged traders, and then we kind of started building leverage back up, flushed out some more. But right now we're still relatively high, but we're basically in the middle. And if you guys look at these type of moves that we've been getting, it's very whiplashy back and forth. See this big drop, right? You see these like huge moves up, huge moves down, huge moves down. These are just it's just people trading over leverage. If you do 100x on like a million or a couple million, and that's like almost 100 million volume, right? But then you get liquidated super quick. So these moves are basically all just leverage traders getting liquidated up both to the upside and the downside. And I feel like liquidity after the FTX collapse, it's still very low in the market. So obviously this is not the type of action we want to see. I mean, you can trade this very well, but for the long term for Bitcoin, this type of we want to see the less volatility, less these type of big just 1 hour crazy move bars. You see, we just kind of went up 10%, right, on these huge bars, and then we just dumped the whole way down. The whole move up, we dumped in under an hour. If we keep on seeing this, it's good because it just means liquidity and degens being flushed out of the market, which obviously builds a healthier base for Bitcoin. So if you're buying spot, you're just hodling it. It lets traders really build a base and with less leverage. So that means that there will be less liquidations and less huge spikes up and down. So yeah, that's basically all I had to cover today. I don't know if anyone has any questions or anything else they want me to talk about.
On YouTube, there is no questions. You've been through most of everything as far as I can see. Vlad, have you got any other questions, mate? Nope. That's great. I'll speak to you guys also about adding the stop loss and take profit, and see if we can't also try and integrate a couple more of the strategies through your APIs and things like that this week, Jay.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, let me see how. I think it's been It was performing very good. I think it. Let me see.
Nah, I just had a loss today, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah. First one in a
it was.
while.
Yeah,
Had
it
a
was
good.
doing. It was doing great actually. It was very steady through the whole thing.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had a loss. Oh no,
But
you
it was,
lost.
yeah, it was up like 3-4%. It was very steady. So what was the lot? What happened
There
on
was
that trade?
yeah, it brought too high to the top, I believe. I've got about three or four other sit-ups for the one to put across to you. Hopefully, by the end of next week, I hope they'll be the same sort of trading strategy, but have slightly different. So yeah, it's been doing good. The last couple of weeks have been okay on it. It hasn't been its absolute best month, but it's been a okay month for it.
Was it basically chasing? It saw the spike to 29,000, and it was just like, oh, this seems like a real breakout.
It must have been that. I think so. It uses the Waterato, so obviously the volatility was quite high at that time, so it obviously saw
Yeah.
the opportunity and got in a bit too late for it, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I've done like you and added most of the signals onto my account as well, trying to look for opportunities to find some good setups and things like that. So hopefully I've got some more ideas for you coming very soon.
Yeah, sounds
See,
good. I
I'm
mean,
one of
hey,
you.
it's
We're
doing.
one of.
It's
Yeah, I saw that some
sorry.
of them are not doing as well. Sorry, carry mate. No, I was just about to say exactly the same thing as you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's doing better than some other ones. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I've done the same thing as you. I've tried to compare other traders in your system, and ours isn't doing too bad at all by the looks of it. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very steady, which I like,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I definitely like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess the last thing, I think I talked about
Yes.
structured products last time, but they've been doing well. So yesterday, I guess during the meeting, I'm basically when volatility is high, you get more interest on your stuff. So like this one yesterday, I saw the prices going up, and I'm like, oh crap, this could be like it could be driven up just by the banking news. I was like, okay, I want to buy at 28,250. If you guys can see the small letters down here,
Yep.
small number down here. So I placed the order for $2,000, get some interest, whatever. Right. So yeah, so for this one, and then I placed one for like in 2 days, I want to buy at 28,000, and it's giving me 50% annualized interest. So that's very good.
Yep.
Yeah, this one's still running. So tomorrow, or actually tonight at 4 a.m., it's gonna expire. And if it's at 28,000, I'm gonna buy my Bitcoin. And if it's not, I'm gonna get my interest.
Cool.
And yeah, and then I got a couple more running. But aside from that, yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you very
And
much
prices
once
are
again.
just
Oh, sorry.
around.
That's right. It keeps
No,
cutting
no,
off.
no, it's all
My end.
good.
I think it's my end. I think it keeps cutting off. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
No, it's all good. I was taking a pause. No, I'm just saying prices are just chopping around. There's not much action, to be honest. I don't see not a clear direction either way in the short term, at least in the 5-minute chart.
Yeah.
I was gonna take some of 100x leverage for fun live, but there's just not really much direction right now.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. Even the one. I mean, there's parts. There's days in weeks when it takes loads of trades, and at the moment it's not done much. So I guess, like you said,
Yep,
it's just
100%, 100%.
yeah, 100x on 5 minute. I've got another trading strategy that you might be able to see from my account, which has been running. It's been running on yours not very long. It's been running maybe 2 weeks on there. It's called David AI. I haven't added it to the GPT yet, but I'll speak to you guys about adding it, and it's on a very, very low time frame. It takes quite a lot of trades. It's much more risky than the one, but it seems to work well on high leverage and lots of little trades.
Hey, some people like that, right? Because there's
Yeah.
probably better returns with the more trades.
Yeah, it's stressful. It's very stressful, but yeah. For me, it is. Like you
Stressful
said, some people
when
like
it's
that kind
free.
of stress. Yeah.
People like that. No, most people like the action. Most people
Yeah.
like the more trades it's taking, the better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It is. So, well, yeah, as long as it's in and out of the market quick enough, yeah, like you said, more trades are better. But for me, yeah, it's probably because it's a bit different for me because I'm kind of building these things for the whole community. So it gets a bit stressful at times when you see a couple of losses in a row and things like that. But anyway.
Yep. Totally understand. You don't want them to lose money.
No, of course not. Definitely not. Otherwise, I end up with less friends on Discord and they all hate me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed it immensely. I think that Vlad's got problems with his mic or something. I'm not sure. I don't think there's any other questions. I can't open the questions on my computer because I'm streaming directly. So I don't know if you can see if there's any questions. Can you?
All questions are answered.
Thank you very much, Vlad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
mate.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Got everything. Cool.
Thank you.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you once again. Look forward to seeing you again next week. This video will also be on YouTube and on the new website. I'll put it also in the email that's going out on Friday for everybody to watch. Yeah. Thanks very much for joining us. Thank you, Jay. Thank you very much.
No, thanks for having me. Nice
Thank you
talking
very
to you
much,
guys.
Jay.
You can find links also to obviously to Pionex in the Pionex room here, and I will, like I said, I'll be also adding a couple more strategies very soon. Don't know if anybody else has got any questions. Cool. Thanks everybody. It's been about 3 hours I've been on stream, so thank you very much for joining us. Thanks to Vlad for putting up with me for 3 hours, mate. And
no problem.
Oh,
Trying
and
to
I
beat
forgot.
Johnny.
We also got the futures bonus stuff. If you guys wanna join, if you wanna put it in the. Do you want me to post it in there? Oh, actually, I can't. I'll send it to Vlad.
Okay.
Okay,
if you don't mind sending
basically,
it.
it's just a futures bonus. There's some rewards for basically signing up and using for new users, like random rewards. You can receive a random USDT just for signing up and depositing, and then of course different rewards for trading and inviting friends. So yeah.
Cool. I'll also post that in the email that goes out at the end of the week as well. If you don't mind sending it to Vlad,
Yep.
I'll send it for you.
Yep, just a little extra bonus. Yep. Thank you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Vlad. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, William, for your help. Yeah, I'll see you all. I guess the next one is tomorrow, isn't it? So I'll see everybody tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.